Testing, testing.
Somebody told me I was. My wife didn't tell me that. My wife didn't
You
tell me.
would be happy. I don't care.
You're not going to vote. That's funny.
I don't know that is
I gotta say what I had. Never heard of this in Hainesport?
Yeah.
It's so funny.
So did you know,
He is so desperately hoping you'll say, "Oh, you do look like him."
Good to go.
So, this meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. This meeting of June 9th, 2020 was included in the meeting notice sent to the Burlington County Times and Courier Post on January 8th, 2020, and advertised in said newspapers on January 10th, 2020, and January 11th, 2020, respectively, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 9th, 2020, and has remained continuously posted as required under the statute. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. So we'll do the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your mic's a little closer. Thank you. Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gilmore? Here. Mr. Costa?
Here.
Ms. Schneider? Here. Mr. Claus?
Here.
And Mayor Pluck?
Here. First item are the approval of the special meeting committee minutes of May 7th, 2020, and I'll group the approval of regular committee meeting minutes of May 12th, 2020.
Motion.
Second.
Okay. Vote, please.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider? Yes. Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. And we have the report section, the tax collector, code enforcement, fire official, construction, and emergency service reports of May 2020.
Motion.
So moved.
Vote, please.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Do we have any questions?
We have none.
We have no questions. So we can give the audience a chance for a question if they want one.
Ken looks like he has one.
Would you, anybody like to ask a question?
Can I take his mask off?
Yeah, absolutely. 6 feet away, I think. Okay, with that, I will close the first public portion. So, in the ordinance section, we have 2020-5. I know Paula Costco, our administrator, and our zoning office, our building inspector, we're all working very hard to try to get some of our local restaurants back in business. So, Paul, I'm going to let, or maybe I should ask John to explain the process that we're going through here to try to get this thing done before
Yeah,
it's
sure.
too late.
Thank you, Mayor. So on the agenda is this ordinance. Did you get the other resolution?
I did.
Okay. So there are a couple of things tonight that committee is being asked to consider for purposes of allowing outdoor dining. And the governor recently issued an executive order, Order 150, that permits this, but subject to certain requirements. The State Department of Health issued guidelines for how to comply. So there's a lot of things we have to do. But the first thing is to, one, amend your ordinances. You have an ordinance currently that says there shall be no outside consumption of alcoholic beverages in a public park, in a street, anywhere, right? So first thing that has to be done is that. If you introduce this ordinance, we can have it heard at the next meeting, and if it's adopted, that becomes an amendment to the existing ordinances. But later on in resolutions, you also have, and again, it goes with this entire emergent situation that the COVID-19 has created, it authorizes the suspension of enforcement of the ordinance in the meantime, right? So that someone, until the ordinance is adopted, the ordinance that's on the books that says you can't drink in public or outside is still good law. What you're saying is, look, the way the ordinance process works, it takes a couple of weeks to get there. So we're saying, in the meantime, through the powers that are vested in you as the governing body, we're not going to enforce that ordinance in the meantime that says you can't do it. And then come July, it'll no longer be the law, and you won't have to worry about it. So that'll be the second resolution. That'll be a resolution later this evening. You're also amending the zoning ordinance because you're waiving site plan, and you're simply saying you have to come in, if you have a license, a liquor license, you have to come in with that COVID-19 special license, show us and file with the clerk the parameters of what is now going to be licensed premises, right? Everything is inside currently. Now it's going to be an expanded licensed premises, and you got to show where that is. So that's what we're doing tonight.
So hopefully, what's June 15th, the official day for outdoor dining?
Correct. So this will allow people on June 15th to know that even though the ordinance is still in effect that says you can't do it outside, Hainesport Township is not going to enforce that.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? There's we need any public comment on it?
No, this is first reading.
No, so it's first
First
reading.
reading.
It's the motion to introduce.
So, does any members of the
I'll make a
committee have a
motion.
question?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, make the motion.
I'll be happy to make the motion to have, to do what's best for our businesses, to give them a better shot at success and prosperity. Not only that, but I'm hoping that we can extend this later on, though I may not be able to give you the time, in the future as well, because we want Hainesport to be as business friendly as possible.
Second that.
We have a vote, please?
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mrs. Schneider?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes, and I echo Ted's, and I think Paul's sentiments that we'd like to see that maybe extend into the future.
Mayor, just before you move on, the agenda shows that public hearing and adoption on June 22nd. We can't do that because on the 22nd, the planning board would not have met yet, and this does include an amendment to the zoning ordinance. It would have to be referred to them first. So July 14th is your next meeting. So on your agenda, public hearing and adoption, July 14, 2020.
Again, they can still open.
Yes, sir.
When the governor
That's correct.
okays. Okay. And the liquor licenses, each establishment that has a liquor license needs to deal with the ABC on their own, right?
ABC and here,
Here.
in terms of,
Permitting.
yes,
Correct.
And I know, Paul, you're well into that process with some of the establishments to try to help move things along. So it's real great job of government working with private business. I appreciate that. So we have number 9. We're going to just adopt them as consent resolutions, which means we're going to vote on all of them. And I'll just read them off real quick, and maybe if there's an explanation needed, we'll offer that. So Resolution 2020-113-6, adopting technology risk management standards in compliance with the New Jersey Municipal Excess Liability Joint Fund, insurance funds, cyber risk management, and I guess just as soon as I say cyber risk management, it sort of explains the resolution. There's all kinds of standards that are being set forth to guard against hacking. Resolution 2020-114-6 authorizes a contract for website service with Civic Plus. And Resolution 2020-115-6 authorizes a lien for property maintenance expenses for a property located at 412 Broad Street where we had to go out and cut the grass. Does any committee members have any questions or comments before I ask for a motion?
No.
Okay, can we get a motion on these resolutions?
So moved.
Second. You got it.
So,
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
yes. I'm going to ask Paula to do a little explaining of 2020-116-6, authorizing a shared services agreement with the Burlington County Soil Conservation District for stormwater-related services.
Sure. So every 5 years, Hainesport Township has to renew its MS4 permit, which regulates all of our stormwater conveyance systems, which include inlets, basins, outfall pipes, which go out into the Rancocas. At the end of this year, all municipalities are going to be required to provide DEP, who's the regulatory authority, an electronic mapping of all of our inlets and outfall pipes. So this is entering into a shared service agreement with the county to do the servicing of the 39 basins that we have. The street scan program, which you all authorized 2 years ago, provided the electronic mapping of our 500 plus inlets. So we already have that done. So effectively, this is just for the 39 basins that are throughout the municipality.
So, any committee members have any questions or comments on that?
That's a good idea.
Can we get a motion and a second?
Second.
So Ted and...
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Sorry. Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. Resolution 2020-117-6. This is the ongoing saga of the Hitco redevelopment site at Creek Road and Route 38, where I guess we're getting some more testing.
No, so we will be. However, that's not what this is. So I just need to express that to you because in the near future, there will be another resolution requesting another round of, another application to DEP for the HDSRF funding, which will continue funding this project. Again, this has been zero taxpayer, local taxpayer funded testing at this point. Basically, what this is kind of a correction of an error. The previous resolution, which authorized this round of work, was just for a previous round of funding. We have the supplemental grant in place, but that resolution did not enable us to charge the current billing to the supplemental grant. So that's what this is doing. We've been utilizing the previous grant, which we had a balance on, which is great. We had a significant amount of money left over from the previous grant. This is now to enable us to start utilizing $77,000, which you all did previously authorize. And we already have that money in place. We have it. It is.
So, anybody have any questions, comments?
A year without three HITCO resolutions, a day without sunshine.
I might add that the question was going back to, geez, around 2001 when we started dealing with this. And back then we had a buyer who was going to buy it and clean it up. And I was all in favor of it. But unfortunately, it didn't pass. So instead, somebody really thought it would be a bad deal to sell the property for only $225,000. As long as the buyer cleaned it up. It would have been a great deal. Well, look, do that.
Wasn't me.
I know, it wasn't anybody here. So, as we go with this time, for 40 years, and I don't want to say anything bad about the professionals, I'm sure they're doing a good job, but you have to wonder though, when does it end, when do we actually clean it up? how many years of studying can you do? I know we're not paying for it, but still, I read these questions because, we should ask the professional test, obviously, how's it going, when will it be done, when we're going to clean up the place, when will we put up this down to a third party? Just a comment.
I agree.
So if I can just add to that, obviously DEP felt the same way because the supplemental grant that was submitted was almost double what we actually authorized. And that was a result of having a roundtable. DEP actually came down and met with myself and Rich Britton, who is with Matrix. He's the LSRP assigned to this project, to find out, okay, what's going on, what's taking so long. And as a result of that roundtable meeting with them, they reduced the scope of the project into this round of testing to the $77,000. But quite frankly, if they continue to approve these grants, they must see, a possibility of there being an end, and they're approving it. So the goal is, I believe, one more round of testing because the contamination again did go below the clay layer, which generally protects contamination. Usually this went so deep that now it's potentially in the aquifer. So now we have to test the flow of contamination now, which is going to be on the other side of 38.
Yeah, the plume was moving.
The plume, exactly.
By the time we're done, the plume would moved somewhere else.
I
Another
know. So I do believe that there'll be one more round of testing, and then you all will be in a good position to make a decision on how you want to proceed. But there is somebody that calls every year anonymously wanting to know the status of the land. So no, I don't know. They don't tell me.
Okay, so with that, you have a
Motion.
move on it? Yep.
Second.
Who was the second?
Me.
Okay. Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So, last time the trash discussion got a little detailed. I'd like to try to keep it out of closed session, just discuss what we can without tipping our hands, if you get the joke. But this resolution authorizes and I was responsible for that, to be honest with you. 2020-118-6, this authorizes us to extend our existing solid waste trash contract. That one should do. So is anybody
I'll make
in
a
favor of
motion.
doing that? Okay.
Second. Okay. Leave it at that.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes. So somebody wants to have a block party on Stonehaven Lane. I think the date was out in July, right?
June.
It's the end of
This
June?
Saturday.
June
It's
14th.
this Saturday?
Yeah, that's a rowdy crew over there. I don't
So
know.
we,
That's your crew. I'll
Not
tell you.
mine.
We,
I did myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Are we invited?
Yeah, so I guess since the governor thinks restaurants can open, I don't see any reason why we can't.
They're going to social distance
Prove that.
anyway. They already have it all
Yeah.
set up. Yeah.
What about the potential for rioting?
Yeah,
Oh, that might happen.
We'll have the
From
state
the
police.
people on Paisley that come over.
Yeah. Gonna watch that crew.
Yeah, all agree. All agree.
I think it's great. I think they should have an opportunity. Let's get things back to normal. Like the old normal. Let's get there.
okay, so would somebody like to approve the block party?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay,
Jerry.
No, good.
I second.
As long as it's good.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mayor McLaughlin?
yes. And then on the flip side, we're going to reject a waste contract bid request that was out there, which is 2020-120-6.
Again, this is
You looking for
permitted by
motion?
statute.
Yes, we got does anybody have any questions without,
Move.
I don't have any questions.
okay, would like to make a motion.
Ted did.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
Mr. Klaus?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Ms. Schneider? And, yep,
They live on East and West.
Garden State?
Come on up, have a seat.
Columbus and Medford. I think their operation centers in Columbus.
That's reserved for you,
This me?
for the Bradley family, yeah.
Melissa Haggerty.
Oh, you too.
As the owners.
Yeah, you want to sit up here? We'll run you next time. Yeah,
And Mayor McLaughlin. We need to finish the motion.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
all right.
And then, if I may interject at this point, I have requested the governing body to amend the agenda to add Resolution 2020-121-6,
Okay,
which is a resolution authorizing temporary outdoor dining and non-enforcement of Section 47 of the Code of the Township of Hainesport entitled Alcoholic Beverages.
So this goes back to what we
Yes.
spoke to earlier.
right, and that's the mechanism that we're going to jumpstart the outdoor dining.
Correct.
So I'll make a motion to amend the agenda.
I'll second that motion to amend.
All in favor?
Aye. And now we would like a motion.
And I'll make a motion.
Make a motion to offer 2020-121-6.
So,
Second.
And vote, please.
Mr. Klaus?
yes.
Ms. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Gilmore?
Yes.
Mr. Costa?
Yes.
And Mayor McLaughlin?
Yes.
Thank you.
So, it's not often we get the honor of recognizing favorite sons in Hainesport, which Sean Bradley's certainly going to be go down in history as one of the favorite people in town. I have a proclamation which has a lot of whereas in it, and I'm going to read it off and get it on the public record. And this is lawyer talk here, a lot of whereas. So whereas Hainesport Township wishes to recognize the many accomplishments of one of our residents, Sean Bradley, who I know you don't actually live here, but your family lives here. Are you living here now?
Yeah, you can say that.
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Sean personally, although I'm very friendly with his dad and family. Sean was a 2015 graduate of Rancocas Valley Regional High School. He played running back and defensive back for the Red Devils varsity football team under the tutelage of Coach Dan Houseman. And whereas, in addition to his achievements on the football field, Sean lettered in basketball and track. He was named Rancocas Valley's 2015 Male Athlete of the Year and earned a scholarship to play football at Temple University. And whereas, a lot of whereas, during his college career at Temple University, Sean earned many honors. In 2018, he was awarded a single-digit jersey, which is given to the 9 toughest players on the team. He led the team in tackles in 2018 and 2019. Sean was team captain for 2019 and chosen for the AAC All-Conference First Team. And whereas, in addition to his extraordinary accomplishments on the football field, Sean has taken time to work with the Special Olympics athletes and events. And Sean earned a bachelor's degree of arts from Temple University in adult organization and development, which he plans on using in the future to coach. And whereas Sean has been ranked in the 93rd percentile of linebackers for running the 40-yard dash. And whereas the Philadelphia Eagles have selected Sean in the 6th round of the NFL draft to join their team. And there be it resolved that the Township of Hainesport Township Committee ask all our residents to join us in proudly honoring and celebrating Sean for his remarkable accomplishments and wish him well as he begins the next chapter of his life. And go Birds! Leo, get this out on social media, but we need to all, okay, Paul is going to do it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Hold on, Lee needs to come in.
Yeah, there you go. See, he's showing me, there you go. Try it. That's the way it is.
Oh, that background. Let me come over here if you don't mind. Yeah, way better, yeah. No, yeah, that's definitely me.
That's what we keep the bottom.
There we go.
Come on.
There we go. That's much better.
All zeros.
Okay. Awesome.
There you go. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Hope you get a lot of that. Hi, I'm Dave. I'm friends. Hi, Ashley.
There's He's afraid his wife is going
Watching the video. Exactly.
That's Marcus. That's Marcus.
Stepdad.
Well, that's my husband.
Jamal. Nice to meet you as well.
Appreciate you guys.
You're welcome.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
You guys have a good one.
Yeah,
Great
yeah,
season.
good luck to you. Be careful out there, man.
Hainesport wants free tickets.
Thank you. Good luck. Best wishes, Kelly. Thank you.
He's an underground, he works the underground.
Dad,
Well, you know, that's, she's so fun. He does do.
I saw that. Yes.
I had a party for him for me sometimes. And then the.
Yeah, bad.
He lives in Mount Laurel.
Somebody followed.
He's staying in Mount Holly and he stays.
Now, I remember my son follows the draft, he said somebody from Mount Laurel.
Yeah, Mount Holly, yeah, well, he lives in Hainesport now, yeah.
I know, I was just curious what the number.
I only saw it was RV.
He posted it.
It's RV, yeah, but he was away at Temple, in a way, so now he came back here to stay a little bit. Good for him, I wish him the best of luck. Like I said, a great family. Okay, so we have some business licenses to approve. Back to reality.
Yep.
He was happy.
It was good.
Right? He was
Yeah.
thrilled.
I think he would be thrilled. I think it's awesome.
I made a motion, we accept business license.
Okay, second for the business
I
license.
second that.
She's 80 with me.
All in favor?
Aye.
And if I could request the governing body to also consider, with the temporary restaurant, outdoor dining permit and application process, I'm requesting the governing body authorize a waiver of our zoning and local UCC fees for that outdoor permit.
Yeah, motion?
Yes.
I move that, I,
Right, you want to make a motion?
yep.
We have a
The
second.
waiver.
Second.
Okay, we have a vote on that, please.
Okay, motion was Mr. Klaus, second was Mrs. Gilmore.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
So comments from the public.
Ken, you look pensive. What's in your mind?
Nice job with the proclamation.
Ken's starting a new business.
Okay, can we take?
I think that should help Hainesport quite a bit.
Started. Oh, yeah, not me.
Somebody on the
Not
phone?
me.
We have two callers, Anna Evans and
Not I.
Stephen Kara.
Volunteer for that business.
Coerced.
I just want to commend Hainesport resident Julie Tasker for her wonderful organisation of the Black Lives Matter March, which I attended on Sunday. Julie did do an excellent job, and she's graduated from Hainesport School. She went to school with my younger daughter, so she's actually only 21 or 22, and she really did a tremendous job. It was a beautiful protest, so I just wanted to congratulate her for a great protest and demonstration of solidarity for Black Lives Matter.
Anna, may I ask, who's Julia or her daughter?
Sorry, say that again?
Who's 22? Julia or his daughter?
Julia Tester is the girl who organised the Black Lives Matter protest.
She did a great job.
Maybe 21, but she went to school with my younger daughter, so she's in the same grade as Lorna, so that's how I originally knew her.
Yeah,
She was in Girl Scouts with Lorna.
she did very well. She did great.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it for me today, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have somebody else on the line?
Mr. Kara, did you want to say anything?
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, this is Diane Terry from Southern Hainesport.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, I'm Jim Way. Hi, everyone. So I just want to follow up regarding the last meeting. I talked about the restriction for the basin at Southern Hainesport. That it's recorded in public records that I'm responsible, myself and my neighbor, we are responsible to maintain that basin, to make sure there's an issue with the structure, and also every 10 years to remove all the debris that's inside the basin. So I know the last meeting, the mayor of Boston stated that he will look into it, and what I want to share with you, Mayor and Deputy Mayor and everyone on the committee, I actually discussed the documentation with William Banks. He is actually the Vice President for Proper Home. And Bill Banks shared with me that they already prepared documentation that the township had already reviewed and approved for several other basins, including the basin that's located on Passport right across from my basin. And that documentation that the bill already prepared, that if it's okay for me to forward the documentation to the township to review it, because that would remove the restriction of the deed for myself and my neighbor basin. And the second part to my question, I had provided the survey for the basin, the drawing where the basin ends, and we are taking care of myself and my neighbor, we are taking care of where the basin ends, it's our responsibility. But I just wanted to follow up to touch base with the mayor, deputy mayor, and everyone on the committee, if there's an opportunity here to revisit this issue. And also, I just wanted to highlight, again, I just want to thank the township and the public works department, you're taking care of the grass all the way to the parks, because all the business centers are closed, so it's really helpful to the residents, and, you know, when you're working out, you're running to the park, so everyone is doing a fantastic job. So I'm very thankful.
I can attest that Paula and John and I had talked about this issue, and aware that there has been other discussions ad nauseum on this matter, and considerable expenses have been expended by the township insofar as much as legal fees and engineering fees on this matter. And I am not in a position to make any changes to the current situation, and that's the advice of pretty much everybody involved. Back when a lot of these developments were originated, we realized that with our small public works force, as Hainesport grew, we just were not going to have the ability to service all of these different developments with their drainage and so forth. So we learned very quickly to get homeowners associations formed and also attach them to certain properties. I guess you moved in after the fact, from what it sounds to me, that this was already part of the deed before you moved in. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Man, was this already?
I can't hear you very clear.
Yeah.
If possible, it's very hard to hear you.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, so my understanding is this was on the deed when you bought the house. Is that true?
Yeah, it was on the deed when I purchased the house. The DEP, obviously I met with the DEP, that's why they came to Hainesport Township, because I had requested a meeting. And the DEP stated that I should not have, this should not be a restriction on a homeowner deed for the responsibility. So here's the issue here. When the site plan was approved, if only the planning board would have followed a DEP rule that a homeowner is not responsible for a basin, I will not have this issue right now. So that's the issue that already occurred. I understand.
Yeah,
you know,
let me interrupt you. Let me interrupt you because I'm only going to give you 5 minutes on the issue.
Okay.
As far as I understand, so I'm going to answer your comment, and that is, as far as I understand, it was done legally, and we did it for a reason. You bought the property knowing that you had, the basin. If you think it wasn't done legally, I mean, you have your, I guess you have your rights.
Oh, there was an attorney review through the bank.
Yeah. So we're going to just leave it at that and understand that you're not happy about it. And at this point, I don't feel the committee is going to take any action to change the situation. So I'd like to just tell you the truth and tell you where we stand, because we did it for a reason, and the reason still stands. I think we're even down one more public works employee's been out sick, and we've got a lot of things to try to get these fellas to clean up right now. So we did it for a reason, and I think it was a good reason, and it was on your deed when you bought the property. So I apologize, but that's just kind of the way it went down. So we're going to move. Anything else that you have to ask on another subject?
Can I just make one comment that...
Quickly, please.
Just one comment quickly. So the same issue occurred for the basin on top court like a few years ago, right? And the basin, the township went back. When Leo was the administrator, and Mike Fitzpatrick was the mayor, the township went back and did the concept and the documentation as well, because on that file of the records where the township went back and removed that restriction. My only comment here is that the process is not streamlined across. You're doing, remove restriction for another homeowner, which is clearly stated, homeowners should not be responsible. And I thought that the township would go back and remove that restriction. You're taking care of the basin right now. You are maintaining the basin. The DEP responded to an email a few weeks ago stating that when they came to look at the basin was not marked. So from the beginning, the matter was not handled properly. If the township would show where the basin ends,
We don't want to litigate.
that part was not marked.
Yeah, okay, so that's kind of a long response to my statement that right now, as far as the committee's concerned, and our office, our administration, the issue is closed. Committeeman Klaus may want to have something to add to it.
That other, if I'm remembering right, that other issue was reopened, which made us responsible for it. If I'm thinking of the right one, that's why we had to take possession, because there was an agreement that was changed, which made us responsible. Your agreement hasn't been reopened. That's the only, we're not picking and choosing. We legally had to take it over because of an issue that was.
Okay, well, we're not, thank you, Jerry, appreciate it. You were here when that happened, so it provides some insight into the issue. So we're going to close public, is there anybody else with public comment? Okay. How about our audience? We gave you one shot, that's it. Okay. So, comments from the administrator?
Thank you. So I want to report that tax collection for the second quarter was at 95.08%. Surprisingly, last year's second quarter was lower at 94.32%. Our rate for both quarters combined this year is actually slightly higher than last year's at 96.64%. So,
Please send our accolades to our tax collector,
definitely,
please.
yes.
Maybe we should give her a proclamation. But no, thank you, seriously.
Yeah.
That's a great job.
She's
I
been
know
doing
you're part of
amazing.
that.
She's been doing a great job.
It's been a, you know, we all hear it on the news how tax collections are down in the state and revenues are short and all the trouble that it's causing. And somehow Hainesport temporarily escapes realities in the world again. So it's great that we have a great town and people are paying their taxes for now. Anything else?
I have a few things. I reported out last month that we were not awarded the 2 EPA grants. I did have a conference call with our Region 2 rep from EPA as well as BRS, who are our grant writers. As a result of that meeting, BRS has offered to make the next application for the cleanup grant gratis, that they will do it for free.
Oh, wow.
So as you can see behind you, the meeting room had some water damage from last week's storm due to some shingles blowing off of the roof. Fortunately, I contacted a roofer right away, came out immediately and temporarily repaired the roof, protecting further damage from the next day's storm. The damage has been fully remediated. A GC came out today and gave us to give us a repair estimate for our insurance company to approve. I don't know when the repairs will be complete. Hopefully in time for our June 22nd special land use board meeting. Want to remind everyone that cleanup day is still scheduled for this Saturday at the street center from 7 a.m. to 12 noon. The shredding truck will be at the street center this year, not at the municipal building. We do ask residents to be prepared to come out and help our public works crew with removing items from their vehicles. This is for residents only. Proof of residency will be requested when you pull up. The dumpsters will be removed from the street center and Cottage Street after the cleanup on Saturday. I'll be mailing out those temporary outdoor dining permits as well as the subcode permit jackets tomorrow to our 9 restaurants in town so that they have those and can start preparing if they choose to. I had a pre-construction meeting for our road program last Thursday. It will be done beginning of August. Okay, again, to remind everyone, that's Perry Drive, Wells Court, Devon, sections of Devon Lane, Marion Way, and Marion Court. Our CDBG program, the bid opening is going to be on June 18th at 10 a.m. And again, as a reminder, it's for sidewalks, ADA ramps, and crosswalks on Washington and Broad Streets. And that is it. Thank you.
Great. Comments from the solicitor?
Thank you.
Solicitor?
Thank you, Mayor. To be honest, I really don't have anything. I just want to commend Paula and the committee on the outdoor dining legislation that you adopted tonight. The governor didn't issue Executive Order 150 until Wednesday, June 3rd. At our agenda meeting on Tuesday morning, the mayor, Paula and I, Paula brought this up, and the mayor said, yeah, go ahead and do it. You know, let's get started. And it was the next day that the governor issued his executive order. So anybody who thinks that what you did tonight was in response to the governor needs to know that what you did tonight was before the governor issued Executive Order 150. So I just want to congratulate you all. I think that's just forward thinking. Well done. That's all I have. Thanks.
Comments from the committee? I'll start with Mrs. Gilmore. I guess have the 2 ladies go.
Well, I just want to thank all the municipal employees for working not only through the pandemic, but through Mother Nature's storms today. I mean, there's a lot of damage was done. The people in the building and Public Works outside have done a terrific job cleaning up. And there's still a little bit more to do, and they're getting to it shorthanded just as quickly as they can. So I just thank everyone for the excellent job they did today.
Yes, so Sunday, Mayor McLaughlin and I, we attended the Black Lives Matter protests, and I want to commend Julia Testa for organizing such a beautiful peaceful protest. It exceeded my expectations as far as the way it was organized, and everyone who went up to speak, it was peaceful. They all had things to say that had nothing to do with hate, and they were trying to bring us all together. And this was a Black Lives Matter protest, and I felt very just happy when I left. And it was a beautiful protest, and I wish more people showed up that I recognized. I didn't recognize a lot of people, but Bruce and I were in awe of how well it was executed. That's it.
Go ahead, Jerry.
I saw Jerry there, weren't you there?
Yeah, he was there. That's all right. Jerry was in the...
He was wearing a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was incognito. Take a look at Bo Duke. All right, I just want to say, first of all, I have to commend our construction inspection office is the greatest. You don't know how many people, I work in construction, who can't get permits, can't get inspections. They're following the state laws on what they can inspect, and they're doing an excellent job. Nobody is, other than indoor inspections for a residence that's being lived in, they're doing everything else. And I tell you, Gene Blair and his whole crew, Kathy, are doing a fabulous job. It makes me proud to live in Hainesport because you can get things done. Second of all, the storm response was excellent. I mean, my street was pretty well devastated, closed for 3 days. Paula made sure that everybody's trash got picked up today and yesterday because it wasn't responded to, and we had a lot of cleanup done. So I want to thank Paula and everybody, including the county, who came by and took out those big trees, got them out of the road. It was really nice to see, and it took 3 days to get our road open, but it was all come down to how important, and we were just a small section of Berlin County that was devastated. The outdoor dining, I'm so excited about this. This is a great idea, Paul. It's so forward thinking. The mayor, everybody, John, who put this together. I'm so happy. And I got to tell you, it makes you proud to be from Hainesport. Everything about this place is just top shelf. So thank you, everybody.
Ted?
Oh, well, good evening, everybody. Nice to be back here. My wife finally let me come out. I was very impressed by the peaceful nature of the Black Lives Matter parade or protest the other day. If only the entire country's protesters were like those in Hainesport,
Exactly.
we would all be a better place. It's just a darn shame that the death of the unfortunate death, or murder, if you will, of the technically say career criminal in Minnesota was, but he certainly didn't deserve death.
He wasn't
It was a
perfect.
disproportionate response that many people in this country got killed in the aftermath of the riots, and it's very sad to note that. And more than that, it seems like the protest movement in other towns, other states, have been hijacked by, the origin for a moment, has been hijacked by people that don't like our country, don't like our republic, such as the groups, the nihilist groups that we know of, like the neo-Nazis that call themselves anti-fascist or Antifa. And there are many groups like that that are taking advantage of the situation and causing a lot of mayhem, death, murder, destruction. I'll end by telling you this little story. There's a guy who lived in Hainesport for 25 years, one of my neighbors on Harry Drive. His son, and it's about age 30, was about to open up a coffee shop in Philadelphia, right around Chestnut and maybe 30 acres or so, right around there. He was all set to cater to college kids and yuppie type people, and people would buy a cup of coffee, expensive cup of coffee and a donut. Well, anyway, he had all the equipment laid out, chairs laid out, seating laid out, everything was ready to go. And then this mayhem from the riots came in and destroyed everything. They destroyed everything that was there. Anything they could take, they took, cash registers, tables, whatever. Left a big mess, and then for a kid, I really felt bad. Just starting out in life, trying to be an entrepreneur or build a good capitalist in our country, and his dreams were destroyed just like that overnight. And he really didn't have insurance because he was just starting. He was just buying the items. It was tough to recoup under such circumstances. But like I said, thank God we don't have that type in our town of Hainesport. Have my summer, everybody.
So, again, we had heard about the potential of a march, and I made the decision as mayor that I should be here. And again, I've tried to not bring my personal beliefs one way or another into this office or on the committee. I represent everybody in Hainesport. I represented some gun rights activists. I welcomed the Black Lives Matter marchers here. We did not announce that we were here. Some people may have known we were here, they might not have. But as the mayor/ambassador of our town, I thought I should be here. And it was quite passionate. I actually learned some things that I didn't think I would learn from some of the speakers, and I actually came out of there with a little bit of an education. So we have some Facebook people that think I'm one way or another way for joining the march, but again, I think that's my job as mayor here, to welcome these people, and for the most part, there's a little bit of chalking up of the parking lot, and some signage got hung around the building, but no damage. And it was they were very passionate about their cause. And again, you just never know what you're going to come away with when you attend some of these things. And I actually learned some things I did not know. So I'm glad I went, and I would do it again. So that's my comment.
May I add, just the exchange of words were very well thought out, you know, and I know what speaker he was referring to. I actually went up to him and said it was a pleasure listening to you, and he looked surprised, and his wife was smiling, you know. But it was a good, nice time spent, especially at Bruce.
So we have thank you. We have a bill list. Do we want to pay our bills?
Yes.
I make the motion, we pay our bills.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? And it's almost 8 o'clock. We have an adjournment at hand. All in favor?
Aye. Or make a motion, we adjourn, one or the other.
All right, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Thank you. Nice meeting. Thank you. I just want to make,